one of the things that frustrates me is the old saying is, if you're not trained to do something, you can't do it. So we continually see small to medium-sized business owners come through that have very little or no understanding of the very basics of how to run a business. We've trained them on the basics you have to look at. Why aren't we encouraging that? We see it all the time. We see this lack of knowledge all the time. Why aren't we pushing harder to try and we're putting direct identification numbers in place, we're putting anti-financing laws in place. Why aren't we going through and pushing the government to put some sort of course, 3 to 4 day course in place before they become a director of a company?
And look, that's a big question that we need to answer, because we joked about this before. You can't get a driver's license without doing so many hours or passing a test. These days, if you want to have children, you've got to go to prenatal classes. But look, we have all these training programs in every element of our life these days, and running a company these days is getting more and more difficult. I mean, we talked about anti-financing legislation before. Now, the average punter would not know what that is. Now, if we talked about insolvent trading, the average punter wouldn't know what that is either. Now, ironically, when the PPSR was rolled out, the amount of accountants that didn't even know what it was a month before it came into effect. So how is the average small business, being a milk bar, a bricklayer, how are they going to know all these pieces of legislation? Now, the answer is they don't have to know what the answers, all these are.
But they have to have awareness of it.
They have to know awareness, and they have to know that, a bit of advice, guys, talk to your accountants. Don't see your accountants once a year. Go see them every 2 months.
Yeah.
Sit with them and understand how your business runs. But I think your point before, which was we need to make sure they sit through a training regime. There are ones out there, and they're voluntary. Like a friend of mine's just recently done one. It was 5 nights. It was 2 or 3 hours a night for 5 nights. And he said to me, he's a spray painter, he said, I don't understand a lot of what they were saying, but I've got enough now to start asking questions.
That's right.